More than anything else, your ability to play the long game will have a significant impact on your ability to get whatever you want out of life. The more you can play the long game, the less any day-to-day events and conversations will have an impact, the less important they will feel. The more you play the long game, the more you can see the big picture of your life, future and past, the less significant any conversation you have will have. This, of course, means that the more you play the long game, the easier it is to maintain a frame of outcome independence. And as you well know, the more you can maintain a frame of outcome independence, the more subconsciously attractive and seductive you will be. Imagine you have a sales career and you have a rock-solid belief that you will create a multi-million-dollar sales career in the future. There is no doubt in your mind that your future, 5 years, 10 years, is going to be filled with magnificent riches because of the skills you are learning. You look back into your past and you see a string of successes. That's going to make any one conversation you have much less important. You'll be much more relaxed in that conversation, much more able to access the massive genius processing power of your unconscious mind. When you play the long game, you can relax in the moment, knowing that your future is coming, knowing that your past supports you, so you don't have to worry about what the other person says. You can just relax and use whatever they say and flow it back into the conversation with hypnotic language patterns and powerful communication strategies. If you were to take an inventory of the secret moneyed elites that run the earth, the secret behind the scenes puppet masters, one of their most powerful traits is their ability to play the long game. The more you can ruthlessly play the long game, the more you can dominate your world. You've no doubt heard the story about the farmer and the 3 sons, an ancient Chinese parable. Once upon a time, there was a farmer with 3 sons. They were out messing around and they found a horse. The neighbor said, "Wow, lucky." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, they were trying to train the horse. One of the sons fell and broke his leg. The neighbor said, "Oh, unlucky." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the army came and took all able-bodied men off to war, in which they all got killed. The farmer was the only one that had a son left. Now he had a broken leg, but it would heal. But everybody else had all their sons taken. They said, "Wow, you are so lucky." The farmer said, "Maybe." The point of this story, one of the points of this story, is that time, the passage of time, can change the meaning of events. And because we go through life not based on the actual events, we succeed in life not based on the actual events. We feel about how we can take care of ourselves and achieve what we want in life, not based on the things that happen to us, but on the meaning we give to those things. The more you play the long game, the more you build a long game frame, the easier it will be for you to change the meaning at will to events. So any setback can not only be not a setback, but it can be a great benefit in the future. When you build the long game thinking skills, any day-to-day things that happen will be seen in context of the big picture. So even the worst setbacks can be a springboard into the most creative ideas you have ever had. Now, how do you build this long game mind frame? The first step is you need to have some ambitions. You need to have a direction for your life. Take some time, at least a couple of times a week, and think about all the different desire categories. Your career, your financial situation, your relationship situation, your social skills, your persuasion skills, and conjure up a future fantasy about a year out, 6 months to a year out, in terms of all of these desire categories, and build up these future fantasies as much as you can. If you are familiar with the persuasion sequence, the most effective communication model ever created, then you understand what it means to expand somebody's desire map. This is the same process, but you're doing it on yourself. You're expanding your own desire maps. Take your career, for example. 6 months from now, imagine everything goes perfectly and you have the ideal career as you can possibly create it in the next 6 months' time. What does that look like? Really get into that situation. Feel that future fantasy from a first-person now perspective. What do you do every day? What time do you wake up in that future perfect career outcome? What kind of people do you hang out with? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of car do you drive? Do you live in the same place? How do you spend your leisure time? What does your bank account look like? Come up with as many details as you can and build that future fantasy as big and powerful as you can. Do this with all the different desire categories. That will help you expand your mindset to the long game, so whatever happens on the day-to-day won't seem so significant, and you will have the power to give the day-to-day things whatever meaning you want to give to them. On the flip side, go back into your past and find as many successes as you can. Build them up in your mind. Recharge those memories, because when you play the long game, when you develop a long game perspective, it's not just the future, but it's also the past. So every day you go through life, this day is a cool day. There's some cool things that happen on this day, but this is one day in the whole long game sequence of your life. All your past successes lead to where you are now. Where you are now is leading to a better future. So build up your future desires, build up your past successes, and build in this long game mind frame.